All right, guys, we had a strong pullback over the past 24 hours, but a brilliant thing happened. It showed us where the strengths in the crypto markets are, and we saw what ecosystem is going to clearly explode next and what altcoins I believe will best perform within that ecosystem. All right, guys, so in this video, we're going to talk about what that ecosystem is. That is Avalaunch. What is it called? Spoiler alert. And also, we're going to talk about this dip that happened, what my thoughts are on the dip, and where we are headed to look where we are headed. So guys, like the video. Let's get this all-time high likes. If you appreciate this alpha, definitely help me out here. Like the video, share it with all your friends. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. What up? My name is Kyle Chasse. My goal here, guys, is to help you to navigate the market and make the best gains possible in this upcoming super cycle. All right, let's get into it, guys. So first of all, it is looking brutal out there. You can see here that we had this massive pullback last night, and this happened just within a few minutes, right? So you can see it crossed all the way down here from about 43.8 all the way down here, bam, and hit almost $40,000. Now, this was clearly a play for wiping out the severe open interest and long positions that were in the market. If you guys are curious what happened to me, I'm still doing like these things. If you guys, on my previous videos, you saw they were much, much higher. My Sol trade and my Bitcoin trade, my Bitcoin was over 100, Sol was like 100 and something. So, big pullback. But that's the nice thing about these trades. When I opened them live on the show, I showed you guys. And if you can see back here, we pull back. Like my buy for Bitcoin was over here. So this scam wick over here didn't even come close to getting me liquidated. And so I'm just, like I said, I'm just going to leave these things open, especially the Bitcoin one, until the ETF announcement. I'll probably close it, to be honest. Like we expect ETF announcement around between January 10th and the 8th. So I'll probably close this thing around January 7th, just in case we get bad news. If we do, I would get liquidated here for sure. So I expect this thing to be well over 100%, 120, 150% by January 5th. And the Sol thing will continue to pump as well. So where are we the week ahead? Well, are we going to get a massive correction? Is Capo right? Well, guys, this is clearly an effort here to wipe out the, and this is just a market manipulation thing. There's obviously nothing wrong on a fundamental level. We're closer than ever. We're about 3 to 4 weeks away from this ETF announcement, which most people think are going to be bullish. So what happens between now and then? Well, that's up for the markets to decide. However, I just think that there's too much. Michael Saylor right now is trying to sell his house or something to buy Bitcoin, right? With this dip. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. So you see here, $1.2 billion wiped out from open interest. This is just a healthy way to clear out over leveraged positions in the market. Again, manipulation here. And you can see, as expected here, we have reinforcements from the Tether printer have arrived. So you can see that there was $1 billion in new USDT, freshly minted, courtesy of the Tron network in USDT right here. This actually seems like $2 billion minted. The dates, no, the last one was, where are we here? Yeah, anyway, this is new $1 billion of new Tether printed, which is likely to go into buying this dip right here. And you can see that Ansem says how markets respond to leverage flushes its best signal for how strong the trend is. If we're in up only mode, then leaders should get bid back up pretty fast. And Injective was another one I thought about making a video on today, but today we're talking about Avalaunch ecosystem instead. And you can see here Loma says, I'm all for large pullbacks and local tops. I just don't think these assets are looking weak right now. Give the run another week or two, in my opinion. Maybe some holiday drop-offs and more de-risking closer to New Year. So, and he just shows some charts that look quite strong. And these ones he covers, Celestia, Insane, Sol, always strong, Bonk. Are you guys buying the Bonk dip? Let me know in the comments below. I don't think it dipped that much, but in fact, it did dip quickly, but then it was a really strong recovery. I think it was up like 20% earlier today when I checked it. And then the other one they're talking about is Injective, of course. That's looking very, very strong as well. So you can see here, guys, let me just show you something. So this is the top 100 here. And you can see as we scroll down, there's one that really stands out amongst the rest. In all green is AVAX or Avalaunch, right? And it flipped Dogecoin here, actually, in number 10th place. This is crazy, right? I remember when Avalaunch was always constantly around like number 50 or something, or then I remember going to 30. And now it seems to be a clear identification of a market leader in this upcoming bull run. Now, there's not a whole lot happening on it yet, but I'll show you today in the video why people are anticipating that AVAX is going to be a main contender. And one of the ones that I'm going to talk about is one of my biggest bets in my entire life. So you can see that, over the past, this is a 14-day chart of Avalaunch or AVAX, and you can see like it's up 130% over the past 30 days and 161% over the year. It's still 76% below all-time highs. Now, this might look like a chart that you don't want to chase because it's been up only, but if you look at the max chart, you can see that it's just beginning to come up, guys. Like, there's still so much room to grow. All-time highs is 144. It's currently sitting at 36. So you still have another 5x to go for all-time highs. But I think this thing is definitely going to massively outperform its old all-time highs. Maybe it hits 300. So another 10x in here. But we're not here necessarily for 10x's, although I think if you do have a blue chip portfolio, I certainly hold AVAX in my blue chip portfolio. It's not a significant amount of my portfolio, not by any means, but I might actually add to this. But more interestingly, maybe we go into the AVAX ecosystem and look what's going on over there. And today we're going to talk about why that's so interesting, what's going on right now. You can see AVAX over the 1 month vastly outperformed every other major blue chip or major cryptocurrency. And you can see here too that TVL and DEX volume as well has been skyrocketing. Of course, it's nothing like it was back in 2021. But if you look over here and we go out and see the last, essentially end of November, early December, absolutely starting to skyrocket. So, and this was all attributed toward this gaming on AVAX. This narrative is really, really leading the charge. And you can see that, we'll talk about that in just a second. So Shrapnel is one of the games that you guys probably have heard about. Obviously, it's a AAA game. They had a $20 million investment recently by Paradigm, and the beta is imminent. So it's coming up, and Shrapnel has their own subnet. So you can see it from their accounts. In April, they said, we already launched our subnet in preparation for early access for operator holders and in the Epic's game store later this year. So a subnet, essentially, guys, is an Avalaunch layer 1. It's an Avalaunch, so it's kind of like the OP stack or whatever, where people can go spin up their own blockchain using the Avalaunch stack, which makes them easily be able to customize it. Now, this is interesting. One of the things I wanted to find out was how does the value accrual happen with subnets? So you can see that here, this guy, Eamon from Avalaunch says, as we spun up more subnets, and as some of them use their own tokens for gas, which is great, right? You get rid of this two token system. Like, you guys know that, like, if you do transactions on Ethereum, whatever, you have to usually use whatever the native token is of that dApp plus Ethereum for gas. So with subnets, people can use their own tokens. So for example, Shrapnel can use their own token for gas. So people only have to hold Shrapnel. They don't have to hold, Shrapnel plus AVAX. So the question is how does that affect the token utility? And so Eamon comes over here and says, first, every single subnet validator needs 2,000 AVAX. Conservatively speaking, there's demand for many thousands of subnets. 1,000 subnets with 100 validators each creates demand for 200 million AVAX. That's substantial. So now, when he says that there's 1,000 subnets, like, that's a bit optimistic. I think that eventually, as Web3 becomes the underlying infrastructure of the world, that, yeah, 1,000 subnets are possible. But, in the interim, and when they sit, so each validator in a subnet. So if you want to have a decentralized blockchain, you're going to need multiple validators. At least, minimum, you need like 12 or 16, right? But in this example that he's using here, let's just say this is, in my opinion, this is an optimistic example. But he says that it would create demand for 200 million AVAX, right? So if you open the calculator and we say, okay, well, 200 million, and let's say times all-time highs 144, that would give a TVL, total value locked, just in subnets, about $29 billion, which would be insane, right? That would drive the price up, probably close to that of Ethereum. And right now we can see that the Avalaunch fully diluted is 15 billion. What is Ethereum? Ethereum is 264. So that is about a, Yeah, so that's so yeah, 264. So you're talking, so a 10x would be 150. So we're talking about like a 15x or so, right? To get there. Now that doesn't always equate TVL to market cap, but I think it's pretty realistic to assume that. But again, that's a pretty optimistic case. But all it takes is a killer game or killer application to create a narrative. And so you can see here that Chalk Up Another Gaming Subnet, AAA game studio Gunzilla Games is creating Guns, a sustainable digital economy platform built on Avalaunch Subnet. So Gunzilla is one of my biggest bets ever. So I have invested the largest personal investment I've ever made into anything has been Gunzilla and their game Off the Grid and the entire Gunzilla ecosystem. I'm quite close to Vlad, the founder, and he actually offered to come on this channel, guys, and tell you guys about some unreleased alpha. It's just something exclusive that you guys will get to hear. So let me know in the comments below if you're interested to see Vlad come in here and talk about Gunzilla. I personally went to their studio a few months ago in Germany and was blown away and got to have a tour, see all the people behind the game, making the game behind the scenes. And in fact, I still have all that footage. I want to make a video of behind the scenes at Gunzilla. But in my opinion, Gunzilla is going to be, this game Off the Grid is going to be something that probably gets massive mainstream adoption. And let me explain to you why. So this whole time we've forced blockchain on people who didn't necessarily want blockchain forced upon them. And I've always said that what I believe is that for us to have true adoption of a Web3 application, the blockchain part needs to be invisible to people, right? And the way that Off the Grid is going to work is it's going to be available on Xbox, PlayStation 5, PC, and mobile. And your account on the front end, whether you're playing on PlayStation or Xbox or whatever, is linked or can be linked to your Web3 accounts on PC. So you can play the game on PlayStation forever, and you never, ever, ever have to take your assets off of the game. Right? If you just want to use in-game marketplace and NFT marketplace, you can do that. But if you, and the way that Vlad described this to me, guys, when I was with him in the office, was, let's say that you have some guys, 16 years old, playing the game, and they're, this is a battle royale, and they're running out and they find like a loot box, right? And they open up the loot box and they get this rare item. And out of curiosity, they find out, they figure out like, okay, well, what is this thing worth? And they go they learn it's worth $5,000. If you're 16 years old, $5,000, I mean, that's a lot of money to a lot of people, right? But for the first time ever, that kid might have a light bulb go ding. And you better believe that for someone who's never cared about blockchain or NFTs before, he's going to go create a Web3 wallet. He's going to connect his account on the back end. He's going to transfer his asset out of the game into his self-custodial wallet. And he's going to go sell that thing on an NFT marketplace and make $5,000. And he's going to sell it for stablecoin or ETH or AVAX in this case, whatever. And it's going to open his mind and his eyes to how powerful being able to own your own assets in a game really is. And so for this reason, and the way that this game is created, the narrative behind it, the actors, Neil Blomkamp is the producer or the director. He produced like District 9, Elysium, and more recently Gran Turismo, amazing movies. And for this reason, I'm incredibly, incredibly bullish on Off the Grid and Gunzilla team. I hope to have Vlad on here this week or maybe next week at the latest. And you guys can get some great alpha coming out of there. So you also have Guns as this Twitter account. Go follow it. The Gun by Guns. This is the blockchain aspect. So it's the token and their blockchain. So not only am I bullish on the game itself, but, oh, sorry, you can't see that. But they built a gaming infrastructure, right? And so one of the things that they've done that no one else has done that I know is that they've created all the aspects that another game would need to use: the marketplace, the transferability, the ability to be on Xbox. So like when I talk to games, because I advise a lot of projects, and when they ask like where they should be building or whatever, I suggest that they go talk to Gunzilla team and start building on Guns, because if you follow what they've done already, then likely you're going to be able to also be, played on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, which, if you don't know, Fortnite has 70% of their players play on either Xbox or PlayStation. So if you're not on those consoles, you're missing a major market share. So I think this is very, very bullish for Gunzilla, and it's going to be a testament to the Avalaunch ecosystem. And you better believe that once somebody does something that has a massive adoption and shows how the blockchain aspect can disappear from the end user, that is going to be a signal to everybody else to go use the exact same tech stack. And that could very well send Avalaunch and its ecosystem through the freaking roof, right? So, and you guys, I can't even tell you everything else that I had been chatting with Vlad about. You know, hopefully he can come on and share some of those things with you. I know a lot of stuff he can't even talk about, but it's absolutely massive, the things these guys are doing. I'm very, very, very bullish. So continuing on in the ecosystem, you see that the Avalaunch has partnered with this TSM. Now, if you guys don't know what TSM is, don't feel bad. I have no idea either. I had to go look it up. So TSM, previously known as Team Solomid. It's a North American esports team. So they're a very, very big team, and they do esports, and so it's bringing a lot of attention to the Avalaunch ecosystem. Okay, so now let's talk about the ecosystem and what type of altcoins you might want to look into. So if you are interested in this ecosystem at whole, Trader Joe is the biggest DEX in Avalaunch. And you can see right here, like, it's not an insane valuation for what it is, right? So if you look over here, Trader Joe's 329 fully diluted, 225 circulating market cap. Compare that to something like Uni, and which is I think like 7 billion or something. So yeah, Uniswap is 4.5 billion market cap, right? Compared to, so that's a 20x, right? Yeah, 20x or so from here. So if you're long, are you bullish AVAX, I highly suggest you go check out Joe as well. Now, Benqi is really, really interesting, right? Benqi combines both liquid staking like Lido and Aave. And check this out. This is insane. So their TVL is 255, almost 255 million, and their FDV is only 175. They have more money locked up by $75 million than their actual FDV. This thing is nuts. Yes, it pumped 112% today. It only has a $100 million market cap, but this thing, in my opinion, is grossly undervalued. And again, you can see that this looks like a very, 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 very bullish chart, and looks like you might have missed it. But guys, it's only up 400% since all-time lows. Now look at the max chart. You can see, like, this thing is not even close to where it was at all-time highs, right? So it's still 93, 94% below all-time highs. All-time highs was almost 40 cents. So that's a 20x from here right now. And I think it should, because of the AVAX ecosystem being so popular, it should probably blow through its old all-time highs, making this thing, in my opinion, a no-brainer. Now this one, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how I feel about this, right? This is COQ INU. And I'm just bringing it to you because I'm bringing it to you. Because this is the premier meme coin in the AVAX ecosystem right now. It's a $30 million FDV. And, you know, this is it. Like, this is a very bullish chart. You can see here that it's got real volume, $15 million of daily trading volume at a $30 million FDV, up 30% today. So if we believe that there's going to be an AVAX ecosystem boom like there is Solana and Bonk, you better go get some cocky. You know, like, there's just such a low effort put into it. This is the website. That's it. I think that with meme coins, the less effort you put into something, maybe the more that people just want to buy it. I don't know. Now, Shrapnel, even though I'm not as bullish about as Gunzilla, I still think that for a AAA game, an $80 million valuation isn't bad, right? Isn't bad. So Shrapnel is a token that's trading right now. Very, very good game. Very, very good solid team. They got a $20 million investment from Paradigm, like I said. And so that's when you're into the gaming. Now let's talk a little bit. Before, I'm going to share with you guys a little bit more news before I go into the last couple altcoins in the AVAX ecosystem, which I think are quite gems here. So JP Morgan tests tokenized portfolios with Avalaunch blockchain tech. You can see JP Morgan JP Morgan blockchain arm Onyx has collaborated with a suite of industry startups to create a proof of concept that could show how tokenization can help manage financial assets. The tests were carried out under the Monetary Authority of Singapore's Project Guardian and was designed specifically to enable fund managers to tokenize their portfolios on chosen blockchains. Now, tokenizing your portfolio, what does that sound like? Commonwealth. Just shameless plug for a project that I'm building, Commonwealth. We're ahead of the game, ladies and gentlemen, ahead of the game. Wealth managers could also purchase and rebalance their positions across different interoperable blockchain networks. The blockchain stacks chosen for this proof of concept include Providence Blockchain, JP Morgan's own Onyx Digital Assets, and Avalaunch, cross-chain communication protocol, Accrual, and issuance/trading platform, Oasis Pro, blah, 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 blah. So interesting. Avalaunch supports Citi FX solutions under Project Guardian. Okay, there you go. Now there's another one. And then also, this is pretty interesting. I actually really, really like this. So Republic's profit-sharing token on Avalaunch will pay investor VC dividends. Again, something kind of like Commonwealth is doing, but Commonwealth is better. But anyway, startup fintech Republic Crypto plans to host its soon-to-launch revenue-sharing tokenized security on the Avalaunch blockchain, the company told CoinDesk Friday. And guys, this is where the future is heading. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you know. The future is tokenized assets. Real-world assets, tokenized assets. It's just easier, it's just better, right? To be able to do things quickly and efficiently and verifiably through cryptographic trust and blockchain. Like, no question, it's just easier and better. Now, when it comes down to the Launchpad ecosystem, so I was talking about first, the paid network, you guys know is mine. We will have Avalaunch native. So if you're looking forward to Avalaunch ecosystem projects launching, paid network definitely, but paid network doesn't have just Avalaunch, as many, many other chains as well. But if you want something that's more, that's going to ride with the Avalaunch narrative, look at Avalaunch. I know the founder, Mark. He's a good guy, does great due diligence, knows what to look for, has solid projects. And, from a Launchpad perspective, this thing is sitting at a $52 million market cap right now and 149 fully diluted. This thing should pop off, especially if we're bullish Avalaunch ecosystem. This is dedicated directly to the Avalaunch ecosystem. So Avalaunch specific projects are likely going to want to prioritize the Avalaunch de facto Launchpad. Of course, they'll probably do something like come with paid network and Avalaunch, for example. And Mark and I will work together to help you guys bring you guys the best projects and Launchpads as well. Now, Colony is different. Colony is an Avalaunch dedicated ecosystem accelerator. So these guys are going to be building exclusively in Avalaunch ecosystem. And that's why you can see that they have this nice pump today of 32%. But I think this is not bad. $31 million market cap, $49 million FDV for an accelerator, exclusively focused. So this is like as, immersed into the ecosystem as you get. So these guys probably, if they incubate some great Avalaunch ecosystem projects, you can expect this thing to absolutely skyrocket, in my opinion. So great team over there. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. I hope that you enjoyed this. I will catch you guys on the next one. See you later.